So, okay, $0 to $1 million, like who should be on your content team? There's really three individuals that I'm thinking about here. The first one is the founder has to be creating content. I think that's a non-negotiable at this point. And the key to the founder making the content is you have to have a part-time creator. If you are in a place where you raise some money and you haven't hit that 1 million revenue mark, then you'd make them a full-time creator. But what I'm really focusing on there is you're testing a lot of different content. And this is, again, thinking about that part-time creator, or again, just the creator in general. You're testing a lot of content. You're trying to find what sticks. And when something sticks, you really want that creator to focus on repackaging that content. Yeah. Something you and I joke about a lot is I've had that piece of content, this is content that every brand should make. I have repackaged that 8 times probably.
You've become your own case study. It's honestly like, it's unbelievable.
And so the whole idea there is like, just take, winning content ideas and scale them in different formats so that you can continue to grow. Every time I've repackaged that piece of content, it goes viral, right? When we had the pod clip that initially went viral, that got 26,000 likes or something like that, 500, 600,000 views. I repackaged it into a carousel that got 12,000 likes. Right. And every single time that I've repackaged it, I've just repackaged it into a different format, another way of saying the same information, but in a different way. And that's key. Yeah. And that's what I would have that individual focusing on, is testing content, then repackaging anything that works. And so they're always kind of in this place of, okay, these 3 things work. I'm going to continuously repackage them into these different formats, but I'm also always testing like 2 new ideas. And so you want to have that flywheel of things that work and things that you are trying to find that go into the next bucket of, again, things that work again. So the last layer though, for a small team of 0 to 1 million is ambassadors. There's a lot of brands that do a good job of building an ambassador list based off of their customer list, right? But they don't use them well. We were talking to one of our clients that has an ambassador list of 10,000 plus people, and they don't utilize them for ads, organic content, theme pages, nothing. And my whole thing there is you should be incentivizing them to create content. You've talked about in the last episode specifically for TikTok Shop on how like Goalie leverages Goalie, right? I don't know why that sounded weird.
There's a lot of goal in there.
Yeah, I don't know. Like initially, I just thought about soccer as soon as I said that. But thinking about like Goalie and how they incentivize them to hit different revenue or GMV marks, and then they gamify it there. Yeah. But the whole goal that I'm really thinking about there is you want to find the outliers. Who are the creators or the ambassadors that have the potential to be like faces of the brand or influencers for the brand? But again, thinking about a small team, 0 to 1 million, you're building around that founder, or like that individual is making content, right? Like and it's becoming a key element for any successful content team, especially early days. People are going to buy into the founder, and it's going to make it easier to gain traction and get to that $1 million revenue mark. Then the second one is the part-time creator or full-time, based on, where you're at and if you do have funds. And then the ambassadors. Before I move on to 1 to 5, anything you want to add there?
I think two things. Number one is it's such a difficult problem to have when the founder doesn't want to go behind camera. And that's something we've tried to chip away at so much through our content, is how you can't actually tell faceless stories with a voiceover. And 100%. So telling your story through scripting and voiceover is like, you do not have to show your face if you're not comfortable with that. So I just wanted to like address that for anyone that's kind of hesitant to create that founder-led content. Is in today's day and age, it's so accustomed to not need to actually just sit down in front 100%. Of the camera and talk. On the ambassador side of things, it strikes me as something that can be expensive if you mess up. And so, especially with those people that don't have budget, it's very important to go quality over quantity. And also, that is a stage where you have to have true advocacy from your ambassadors. Like, how do you find that person with the overlap of the most influence and the most buy-in to you? Because, you don't want anyone lukewarm on the 0 to 1 million. Because whenever one of the worst things that ever happens when I'm talking to a brand is they'll say, can you activate our ambassador list on TikTok Shop? We'll give you all their handles, yada, yada. Give me like 5,000 ambassadors, and, maybe 10% will respond when we DM them from the brand account. Like, what's the point? Like, those are not like highly engaged people. They're people they've worked with in the past. And so definitely 0 to 1, like just aim for those people that, believe in your mission, dedicated to your product, love your product. That's the biggest thing. I keep seeing on UFC fights, Joe Rogan has a damn bag of carnivore snacks.
Every single time.
Yeah. And I know Mark from Carnivore Snacks doesn't have to do shit for that.
Yeah.
It's just Joe loves the product. And so finding that alignment, I think, is super important in that stage.
Couldn't agree more. I think, they always talk about find your first true 1,000 fans. I think when it's coming in ambassadors, it's like find 10 to 20.
Yeah.
Like those ambassadors that live, die, breathe the brand.
Yeah.
So that then you can scale from there, but you do have those people that are trying to make content that works. They're not just trying to get content out there to make a buck. Like they care about the brand and the brand winning.
Yeah. There's something to be said in the 0 to 1 playbook around differentiation that I don't have a fully formed thought, but certainly when we have, there's no secret, like the hydration space is getting very saturated. Yeah. So is athletic apparel. And being able to stand out in the 0 to 1 stage is like, what else do you do other than storytelling? If you don't have a crazy form factor, if you're not extremely different on your formulation, if it's a consumable or, the fit and the style, if it's apparel, whatever it is, then you only have one ability to stand out, and that's telling stories.
100%.
So,
and I think the good thing there too is not everybody has the same story, right? Like story is the thing that you can't replicate.
Yeah.
If I have, if you and I have similar brands, and we're launching something, like your story is going to be very different from mine, and even if you're doing like founder-led, story-driven content, etc., then it's still going to be very different.
Yeah.
And you can't get hung up on that. But on the next episode, I'm going to be doing the content strategy for 0 to 1, 1 to 5, and then we should both go off of that.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good idea.
I'm sure that'd be super helpful.